All right, everybody. This is the Crypto Smith. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. I don't know. I didn't test my mic first, like a dummy, like a stupid American. Didn't test anything first. Probably pulling the cords out here. Hopefully, you can hear me out there. I don't know what I'm going to do today. I am just getting over being sick. Sick all week last week. Just kind of that head cold, coughing, congestion, right? I couldn't really do any videos, couldn't do any live streams. It was, it's kind of a mess, which sucks because actually I can't hear shit. Hello, hello. Okay, now I can hear myself. All right, hopefully everybody can hear me. Give me a thumbs up or something. So anyway, so I was sick and I'm just getting over it. So I may have to mute myself a couple times to clear my throat or cough or something stupid. So hopefully that doesn't interrupt too much. I don't know how long this is going to go on. This is just me ranting, talking about, the bullshit that happened last week. Over the last 10 days, I wasn't able to address last week, which kind of sucks, but here we are. So hopefully everybody is doing well out there. I'll just wait a little while before we get started on the Mmai content. And I laugh because I'm a little nervous. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if this might be my last live stream on this. So we're going to find out here. Hopefully we can come to a solution, come to an end to this, crazy stuff going on. But I want to give a shout out to Tim Shea, the mayor of crypto, always here supporting the channel. I love you, brother. Hopefully you're doing well out there. Things are going good for you in your life, whether you got a family or not. I don't even know if are you married? You got kids? I don't even know if we really got to know you that well. But I know I see your face everywhere on everybody's channel, always supporting the crypto community. So thank you, Tim. Appreciate that. Annie Rock, one of my OGs from the early days, probably a year and a half ago, coming up on 2 years. I appreciate you being here. Always good to see you, sir. Hopefully you are doing well. And I say sir, and I don't even know if you're a sir. Hey, Crypto Smith, appreciate it. Brian Dowie. What's up, Sean? What's up, Brian? Good to see you. Good to see you. Always. I know I haven't been over on Max's channel in quite a while. Still, I don't know, still taking a break. A little down. A little down on crypto, right? I mean, probably down on everything because everything is such a mess. Sorry, I had to check my phone. But you know what? We're going to get through it. And hopefully we can, come together as a community. And it's going to be tough because I'll be honest, I'm going to have some, I don't know, some lingering bad feelings about the community. And this happens, and look at it, this happens in every single community out there. Unfortunately, in the community space, you got to deal with other humans, and everybody's got emotions and everybody's got their own ideas. And unfortunately, everybody out there, or there's a lot of people out there who seems to think that they're experts, right? Everybody thinks they're an expert. Everybody thinks they know how to build a community or build a token or, build a platform or do this and do that. And they can do it better than everybody else. And they just need to listen to, to them. And if they'd only done it this way, it'd be fine. But unfortunately, there isn't anybody in these communities who is an expert at any of this stuff. We got to kind of go along with whoever those devs are out there that we've put our faith and trust in. And hopefully they're doing the right thing. And then if we feel like, they're not doing the right thing, we can take our chips and go home, and go do something else, right? It's not a big deal. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I really, really feel strongly that a lot of people in the communities don't truly understand risk. And they like the idea and those benefits that you get from risking, your financial resources, right? Because you think, oh man, this could pay off, potentially could bring me a windfall, maybe. They like to talk about 10x, 100x, but once that money leaves your wallet, they clinch up a little bit. They're like, you know what I mean? I really want I want to take the risk to make the money, but then I don't really want the risk. Once things go bad or once there's some negativity out there, they don't want that risk anymore. Now they want a guarantee. And people in MMAI, just like any other community, they start demanding things that they demand AMAs every week, which is ridiculous. They want to know what's going on with the money. You got to answer me this, answer me that, and I'm not that way. I don't do that. I feel differently, I think, about things than some others do, and we're going to disagree, I'm sure, on some things, and we'll agree on others. But I want to address first of all the liquidity, right? So Augie took some of the liquidity, said he's putting it over in the blockchain. Obviously, a lot of people had a problem with that. I don't know if I have a problem with it. I don't think I have an issue with that by itself. Sure, it would have been probably better if he had mentioned it, told the community, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're planning. It would have smoothed things out a little bit. We would have still had the same people cry, rug pull, scam, I told you so. Oh, he's just, fattening his pockets. He's moving to a different zip code. So we would have still had that same negativity. It probably would have been a little less, would have been a little tempered. But here we are. So, and obviously that blew into a much, much bigger problem. A much uglier situation occurred because of it with Austin, which I feel for. And I'm going to say it, right? I'm Team Austin, right? Austin had a big effect on motivating me to start a channel. Super cool. Him and Fan both. I mean, obviously, lovely people. I don't know them personally, but through the interactions we've had over this last year and a half, I feel like I got to know them a little bit. So, I support the both of them. I believe Austin has a duty to his family if that's how he feels. He just wants to back away. The reasons to me are completely irrelevant. I know he's a family guy. He's got kids. Needs to spend time. He was doing a ton of work on his channel. So I support Austin 100%. They had issues with a couple of people in the community, and that turned into an absolutely ridiculous high school situation that I'm not going to soon forget. And that kind of thing, I won't be part of. I won't be part of it. I don't want to be around people who are part of that. So I'm probably going to have to say goodbye to a few people, but that's just me. That's how I feel, right? We're all going to pick sides and who's right and who's wrong, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. We're going to move on. MMAI is going to continue, with or without us. So I just wanted to mention that. And then just as I think we're getting over that, and me, myself, I'm thinking, hey, all right, you know what? What happened. It was ugly and stupid, but we got to move on. So I'm just about to move on with that. And then I get on Telegram and I see, the same suspects basically chase Fan out of Telegram and out of the group altogether, just with unfounded claims about, trying to scrub the X platform of anything with Austin in it, or excuse me, any of the old stuff, which was absolutely untrue. So they were, hounding her about that, blaming and accusing and all this ridiculous crap. And so she left, and I couldn't blame her at all. I mean, I would have done the same thing. And I was thinking about doing the same thing. I don't know that I'll participate a whole lot in the community chats. But it's sad. It's just sad that adults can't adult like I think we're supposed to, or like we should be, or we're expected to. I'm not perfect. I've got emotions. Sometimes I say things I shouldn't say. Sometimes I don't say enough. That's just the name of the game. But to have Austin and Fan both out of this, to me is absolutely heartbreaking. But we're going to have to move on. I wish them the best. I think they're great people, and they're going to be just fine. But to have them not here supporting is tough. So that was a hit for me. Excuse me. But here we are, right? What are we going to do? We're going to move on. The AMA happened today, just like they said it was going to happen. Augie came through with his word. Not a lot of updates, not from what we already knew. And I think, right, this is what you're going to expect. If there's going to be a weekly update, there's not going to be a lot of new things that happen. And some people need the hand holding, and some people don't. So, I guess we're going to cater to the least of us. And that's up to Augie and Andrew and that team there. And I'll let them, they get to decide, how they want to handle that. I think they handled all the negativity very well. I know they got past the Austin, fight, the personal fight thing, even though, the community was drug into that. But we're going to move on from that, and we're going to move on to what's coming for MMAI. And I think there's still great things. I'm still part of the project. I still hold a lot of tokens. I'm not going anywhere. I may not be as visible, going forward for some time. I would still love to do, the beta test of the wallet coming out. So I'm definitely volunteering for that. Hopefully some of you guys out there are volunteering as well. And we'll see, I'm going to keep it real. And I know there's a lot out there. There are people out there who seem to think I'm just here, I'm an apologist for MMAI, or I'm only defending them, or only saying positive things. And we know that's not true. I did roast them a bit about the wallet last time. And I'll do it again. I mean, if the wallet comes out and I'm part of this beta test and it's not what it should be or what I feel like it should be, I'm going to say, what's on my mind and say the things that need to be said. So for those of you who think, maybe I'm just not cupping the balls properly, as I'm defending MMAI, I don't know what to tell you. That's just not the case. Everybody, once the negativity starts, right, everybody wants to jump in. You get that mob mentality, and a few people can think for themselves at that point. But hopefully, after this live stream, hopefully this, we'll just move on from this, and a learning situation. I also want to address, this project isn't like the other projects. And I know people are saying, hey, let's compare this to all of the other community projects that failed us from before. And this is not those projects. These are not the same things, not even in the least. None of those other projects out there had a real world business. None of them did. Most of them wanted to hide behind their screen names and make sure that nobody really knew who they were or where they were. Excuse me. So try to compare it to other projects is, stupid and ridiculous. And you just can't do it. It's not the same thing. Communication is key also. And I understand that totally. Communication would be nice. More communication doesn't mean a better project. More communication doesn't mean we're getting more information. You remember Cliff, right? From Shibnobi. They literally had live streams every single day for a very long time. And where are they now? They're nowhere, right? They disappeared. So the massive amount of communication they had zero effect on that project. Damn it. Yeah, this is going to bug me now. So let's be fair about the communication. Yes, communication is important. Too much communication is too much communication. When there's things to communicate on, then that's when we should be notified. I'm still of the mindset, and I know not everybody's going to agree with me. I am still of the mindset that the devs owe us nothing, right? They didn't sign a contract. It's not a security. They're not offering us part of the company, right? We just purchased a token to get a project off the ground, or if they even really needed the money. I think they could have gone to a private investor and done this on their own, and they probably should have. And they could have cut out all this community drama. That would have been my play. If it was my company, I would have said, if I knew anything about the crypto business, I would say there's no effing way I'm going to get a community involved in crypto. I'm going to go out and I'm going to get an investor or two. I'm going to build this on my own and run it that way, because the community, unfortunately, at this point, I don't know of any projects that have survived community tokens, have survived the communities. And once anything goes negative, the community just starts to feed on itself and eat itself. And that's another way that helps these things fall faster than they would have previously. So hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. I'm not trying, trust me, I'm really trying hard not to be negative, not to be overly negative. I think there's a reason to be negative and to kind of call it like it is. And like I said, I've got an opinion. Some people don't share that. Some people will, and that's totally fine. I welcome anybody who disagrees with me, as long as we can be respectful. and understand that we're not always going to agree. So community token space, right? What do we have to do to make it, right? We have to survive ourselves, number one, which is probably the biggest challenge that any community is going to have. There's so many different varying opinions. Like I said before, everybody's for some reason seems to think they're an expert out there in the field, even though none of them have done it. We're going to accuse when we don't see anything because we're a little insecure and we're a little afraid of the market. We see the market going down. I mean, look at, I've pointed this out multiple times. We're like, this is not a chart to be proud of, but it is what it is. I mean, it's, we were in a down market. It looks like we might be turning around in a project that still has no use case, right? And I know they're working on it. This is not a negative thing for me. This is just reality. They're working on a use case. They're working on blockchain and the wallet, the first two things that'll come out. And then we'll see where we're at, right? Once the wallet drops, once the beta drops, that's going to, at least for me, I'm not speaking for anybody else but myself. When the wallet drops, or at least the next beta drops, I'm going to get to see where we're at, right? Did they take heed of the warnings, that I offered, the criticisms that I offered? Or did they make the changes that needed to be made, or that I think the community probably think need to be made? How does it look? Does it look like it's on the verge of, being able to be released? And then how does that release go? And then after that, you got to judge, how is the marketing going, right? What are they doing? I mean, for God's sake, I hope they don't employ a bunch of small YouTube channels like myself, because that's not going to do any good where they want to go, right? They need to get outside of the crypto space in order to really push this thing forward. Sorry, again. So, step by step, we're going to see where this thing goes, right? If any point, look, I'm not going to say there's nothing they can do that's going to dissuade me from this project. Of course, if some things come out and I think, it's just absolutely going nowhere, I'll probably move on like anybody will. But I don't see that yet. They have not given me yet a reason to question whether they're real about the desire to put out a solid working product. And, that still remains to be seen, and we still have to be patient on what's going on. Let's get to some comments now. See what you guys think. Tell me what you think. Am I wrong? Am I right? Am I being a little bitch? Right? Am I not cupping the balls properly? Tim Shea, and I'm saying that I'm laughing as I'm saying it because it's a stupid saying, but that's how I felt when people want to criticize. It's totally fine. I put myself out here, right? I'm out here in the public, so you can criticize me because that's that it comes with the territory. Tim says today's AMA wasn't bad. The week to week won't last, but we'll need a strong go between. Yes, I 100% agree. I tried to listen at work, but I couldn't. It's just too much going on. So I listened to it on my way home, and then when I got home, and it was good to hear, Dr. Crypto admit, hey, that was, personal between, Austin and them, and it wasn't MMAI related, even though it did drag MMAI and the community into that. But they're able to move on from that. And Austin said, the nice things he said about Austin and Fan, which obviously I agree with. And getting the information, just the simple fact that he came out and did what he said he was going to do is what was important. The information that we got wasn't that important because we've already got it. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for the ISO certification, which is basically an audit and for security before they can really do anything. And that they don't control the pace that goes. So we just have to wait until that is done. God damn it. He should have communicated liquidity. It would have been much better. I think, yes, I do agree with that as well. I still think we would have had all the maybe not all of them, but a lot of negativity would have still come out. And I don't know why they just assume, I do know why. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. People are going to assume the worst because of the experience that we've all had in other community projects. I get it. I looked at it like this. If they need that liquidity to finish the wallet or the blockchain, then they need that, right? Otherwise, the liquidity means absolutely nothing. Liquidity is going to dry up, and there's going to be nothing left when we want to cash out once we realize it's going nowhere. So my feeling is they use that money. God. They use that money if they can to finish the product, put that product out, get us back in, moving in the right direction. If they don't do that, the project fails. Then who gives a shit about the liquidity? That's my opinion. Sniff, are you guys aware of our biofield and how been integrated into wireless network creating by DARPA? Not aware of that, Sniff. But thanks for showing up. I appreciate you dropping by, Sniff. Hopefully your day's going well. You're doing okay. A lot of negativity out there in the world. Hopefully everybody's not getting beat down by it. And I'll be honest with you, last week with everything going on and me being sick and just not feeling, well at all, it was very depressing. I didn't want to turn on the computer. I didn't want to get on social media, but I'm an addict, so I had to do it. I didn't like the fan thing at all. I reached out. Yeah, that was absolutely heartbreaking to see. Yeah, I mean, what do you say? What do you say to just absolute stupidity like that and chasing off, one of our best team members, one of our best community members we've had is now gone because of it. What's up, Sean? Selmo Fudd, glad to see you. Hopefully you are doing well, sir. Mr. Selmo, if you guys don't know, if you go check out him on social media, on X, formerly Twitter, you'll see him in his what do I want to say? I don't want to say outfits because that's weird. But the clothes that he wears, I say this dude is the best dressed guy in crypto by far. Hey, Selmo. What's up, Selmo? We're saying hi. Sniff, that's interesting. Sniff always has something interesting to say. He just wants to get the party started any way possible. No, just Austin. Remember, he said he would leave crypto if this project went south, so he did. Well, this project didn't go south. I mean, I understand, if people can read that because the chart is the chart, but that doesn't mean the project has gone south. And I believe he left because he was burned out. And maybe there was some apprehension there. I know he said he didn't want something to happen to Fan's channel because she's got a fantastic channel. He didn't want to link any problems he might have doing crypto content with her. Totally makes sense. Plus, spending time with the family. I'm a family guy myself. I get it 100%. And even if that's not the reason, it doesn't really matter. He gets a choice. Communication sure could have been better. We all know that. But it is what it is, and I wish him the best of luck. And I'm sure I'll talk to him from time to time here. Yeah, it's terrible. This thing's hanging on, man. It is hanging on for dear life. Maximus Crypto. Max, good to see you, brother. I know I haven't been over there visiting lately. I've just not been in the crypto mood a lot. I see a lot of stuff out there. I probably need to get off of X or get off of social media because it's nothing but negativity. It's project after project. XRP going after Ethereum maxis and Bitcoin, and it's nonstop, and it's tough to take sometimes. And we have to ask ourselves, is this enriching our life in any way? Me, I have to take a look at this and say, hey, am I having fun? Am I learning anything? Is this benefiting me at all? And unfortunately, none of this stuff is benefiting me. So why am I doing it? It was for fun. And I told myself once I stopped having fun, I would stop doing this, but I didn't listen to myself, right? I wasn't honest with myself. I should have stopped months ago and just gone and done something else. But Max, I appreciate you stopping by. I love your channel. You and Will Fix over there, you guys killing it. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. We'll talk to you soon. Cup in the balls. Hey, it's important, right? Got to make sure you're full service. Everybody's saying hi. Yeah, well, I'm sorry, but somebody has to, right? I mean, somebody's going to do it. Saying hi, GS. Appreciate you, GS, stopping in. Who we got? Crypto investor, MMAI. Yep, MMAI. I'm still 100% MMAI. I have no reason to doubt what they're doing until I have a reason. When I have a reason, I'll say it. You know, the beta comes out in the next wallet. You know, you're going to get honesty from me. I'm going to say exactly what I think, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Hopefully, it's good, right? If it's bad, you know, sucks to be them. And I do believe a good project and good devs and good people appreciate solid, honest feedback, right? I don't have to be mean about it. I don't have to be a jerk about it. I'll just be honest. Tim saying hi. Not taking any sides because there's a lot we don't. Yeah, and look at I totally get. There's two sides to every story. You know, you got both sides, and then you got the reality somewhere in the middle, probably. My point, my biggest issue wasn't taking sides. It was the way it was handled. It was the throwing your personal beef with somebody, dragging a community into it, and then putting that out there in public, right? To me, that's not how adults act. To me, as a man, that is not what I would do. And I can't respect, you know, people who do that. That was my biggest issue, was just the way it was handled. You know, I understand those guys, you know, guys, that's their problem. It's not my problem, right? It didn't involve me at all. It's just the way it was handled. Tim the mayor, of course, Tim the mayor. One of these days, he's going to be made the mayor of crypto. Somehow, some way, Tim's going to be the guy. It's Summers. Good to see you, it's Summers. Haven't seen you in a while. I know you had I think, gaming channel you had. I checked it out a couple of times. By the way, I am going to start a new channel. I thought I was going to integrate my sim racing into this channel, but it's just not going to work. You guys aren't going to. Nobody here is going to give a shit about me, you know, racing, you know, in my new rig. And actually, I don't think you guys can see it, but I've got a whole. Let's see. Let me get my camera here. I got a whole stack there. The light's really low. Let's see if I can. Here's my track racer, a whole stack of stuff. Waiting to put it together. It's weird. They shipped it like they shipped it bolt by bolt. It's, you know, it's a what they call an aluminum profile rig, and a seat, you know, and a couple of small attachments to it, and it comes in 12 boxes. So I'm still waiting. Hopefully Friday, the last boxes will come, and then my son, one of my kids, is going to be here Saturday, and then we'll you know, for the weekend we'll probably start putting it together, hopefully. And I'm really looking forward to that project. So I'm going to start a new channel for sim racing, and I'm going to probably do some streaming on Twitch or whatever, you know, like a child, just because I think it's fun, and I'm going to do a lot of sim racing content, and I'm sure you guys could care less about. So that's why the new channel is going to go on. I'll still do some crypto content, still do MMAI. I have a contract with Kunatori, which is putting out a centralized exchange, and they're about to drop a beta version of that here anytime. So I'm looking forward to that. So I'll be covering them as well. Maybe some XRP, but XRP, I'm just getting burned out on the XRP stuff. There's 10 stories a day. There are great channels out there who are covering it. And all I'm doing is just taking the information that everybody else has and just regurgitating it into, you know, my own thing. And I just don't know if there's any value in that. It's Summers. Yeah, good to see you, it's Summers. Let's see. You're saying hi again. Let's see. It's okay to be negative and still support a project. Yep. I mean, sure. I agree. I like to bring the positivity out, which is why I wanted to, you know, just have a place where people can come and just chat about MMAI. You know, but I got a lot of blowback from people who, you know, they only wanted to hear from the devs and nobody wants to hear from me. And it's not as if I'm speaking for the devs. You know, it's just a place to come and just hang out and talk about MMAI and the possibilities and what's going on and how we feel, you know, this kind of stuff, you know, and, you know, I don't need permission from the community to do this. And if you don't like that the devs aren't on my channel speaking, then don't, you know, just click off. You don't click the button. It's, I mean, super easy. Brucey, how you doing, Brucey? Hopefully your night's going well. If devs don't owe investors anything, then why invest? Just give them your money, then forget about it. Yeah, I did. That's exactly what I did. I gave them my money for them to do whatever it is they need to do, because they're the experts, not me, right? And that's the risk I took, right? You throw your money out there. It's a risk you take. They're going to do what they're going to do, and it's going to work or it's not going to work. Now, so far, at least as long as I've been in crypto, not one project, not one in the community space has ever succeeded. This is the best chance that there is out there. My opinion, okay, just my opinion. You might disagree, but if you can tell me a community project that currently is successful and the investors are all awash in cash, please enlighten me. But investors don't, or devs don't owe us anything. They owe us to do what they said they were going to do, right? Which was build a product or service, depending on where you're at. Here it's a product. That's what they owe us, right? They don't owe us weekly AMAs. They don't owe us. They don't need to hold my hand, pat me on the head every 2.5 days and tell me everything's going to be fine. I get an update, every once in a while when there's an update to be had. I'm totally fine with that. That's where I put my money, and then I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to be emotional about it. And when if there's a hiccup somewhere along the lines, I don't freak out and panic, because I know my money's out there and it could be gone, right? This is just the way I invest. Do we get a new? I have no idea. To be honest, I don't know who would even take that job. And a CMO, I mean, maybe Dr. Crypto. I don't know. He obviously has a place, in that hierarchy somewhere, because he's got Augie's ears. So I don't know. Maybe appoint somebody or nominate somebody, but I have no idea if you'd get a new marketing officer. I'm sure at a corporate level on their end they would have somebody internal who's in charge of marketing. But as far as crypto goes, they don't need one, right? We're such a tiny little segment of the possible customer base that it would make no sense for them to waste money on us. Where's the receipts? I don't know. Do they owe you receipts, Summers? As a community member, somebody who bought tokens, do they owe you receipts? Because I don't think that's part of the deal. I don't think there was a deal made. Just like if you want to view this as you purchased a security, a stock, you get a quarterly update. That's what you get, and that's all you get. And sure, you get to see the financials, you get to see all those things, but that's not this. That's not what this is. OC Mongo, I think they need money like all other startups to scale. Yeah, I would assume so. That's why they took the money. I don't think Augie's, moving to a new zip code or buying a Ferrari with the money. I think the money's going to support the project, which is where it needs to go. And if it doesn't go there, then none of this matters, right? The liquidity makes no difference whatsoever. We're all getting nothing out of it. So don't get mad when a dev buys a Lambo and a house with your money. They don't owe you anything. You see, Brucey, you want to be ridiculous about it, and that's fine. That's totally your prerogative. That's not what I'm saying. And I see this what you do in the Telegram group and in social media. You like to blow things up out of proportion where they don't belong. I didn't say any of that, right? What did they owe us? They owe us to do what they promised they would do in the beginning, and that's it. They didn't promise to go out and enrich themselves before they completed a project, right? That's what this is what they get to do when the project is complete and it's successful. They get to go out and buy Lambos and new houses. So I think you're intentionally misinterpreting what I'm saying, because I think that's what you do out there. But it's fine. I understand. We're not going to agree. You and I, trust me, we are not going to agree on this. and that's totally fine. You get to say, your piece, and you get to have your opinion, and I will have mine. But that's just how I feel. But hey, OC, crypto investor Austin left us hanging, and you're justifying that. I'm not sure how he left you hanging. I mean, unless you're not responsible enough to do your own research and to Austin's not going to tell us. Austin wasn't telling us anything that Augie's not telling us. It doesn't. I don't. I don't see the problem there. Austin didn't want to do it anymore, and he wanted to spend more time with his family. I guess that's justifying it, right? I have no problem with that. So you're done with Daniel and Dr. Crypto Sean. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah. I don't have an issue saying that. I just can't put myself with those kind of people. Who act and behave like that. I just can't do it. Right? There's a lot of people out there, and I don't have to hang with everybody. They got their thing. They can do their own thing. They're both doing just fine, right? They certainly don't need my company to succeed. They're both going to be just fine. They need more money than the liquidity. They have to get VC. Yes, and look, and then that's what they're looking for, and they've already made that very clear that they're looking to get a further investment. Of course, initially it's going to be for marketing, right? This is what we're being told. I'm not behind the scenes. I don't know really what's going on. We can only go by what they're telling us. So they need more money than the liquidity. Yeah, I would imagine they do. Like these things. I'm not an expert, right? None of us are, about building a wallet that has an offline payment, right? I've never done it. I don't know how much it costs. I can imagine that working on something that's new in the market takes millions of dollars, right? And I think if they're able to put this together for a couple of $1 million, I think that's phenomenal. Whether that's realistic or not, I don't know. But it would seem to me that it would take a lot more money. Like I said, earlier, I would have never gone the community route. If I had an idea and I had some tech people behind me and some college students who were working on their master's degrees in technology and stuff, I would have went out and I would have solicited a VC or an angel investor and got a few $1 million, to start out that way. That's absolutely the way I would have done it, and got. Not had to deal with all of this drama in the community. Project's still working, so it's good, but we need to hold people accountable for their actions. I don't have an issue with that at all. Yes, they need to be held accountable, but I believe that everything needs to be proportionate. And the amount of vitriol that happened, I think, wasn't proportionate. And this is just my opinion, right? I mean, we're obviously disagreeing here, but in a respectful manner. I understand what you're saying, 100%. Need to be held accountable. Yes, I would have been much happier had Augie come out and said, "Hey, this is my plan. This is what we're doing. This is what we'd like to do with the money." Right? Are they asking permission? Like, does that need to be something where they need to say, "Hey, let's take a vote"? Right? I don't think they need to. Our tokens don't give us a right to vote on what goes on with the company. I mean, if you held a stock for, a public company, then yes, you do get a vote, actually. Not that often, but you do. But here this is not that. But yes, I would, trust me, I would love it. Well, maybe I wouldn't love it, but to make a point, I would love it if Augie picked up the phone and called me every time they had a decision to make and see what I thought. But they're not going to do that because that doesn't make any sense. They're not going to do that with the community either because it doesn't make any sense. Accountable for their actions, 100%. I agree with you, crypto investor. Eddie Santis, thanks for being here, by the way, everybody. I appreciate it. Even though we're going to agree to disagree or disagree to disagree, I do appreciate and respect the fact that you guys are here asking questions and let me know your feelings. How are those guys giving Augie a pass with the LP poll? I don't know who guys, because it's us guys, right? The community. And I'd always look at the flip side of this, right? If Augie's not using that money to further or complete, hopefully, right? The blockchain or the wallet. What's the point? What's the point of going through these exercises, right? If they're not going to be able to finish it, then what do? We just stand around here and stare at each other, and hope somebody comes in, with a miracle. Like, it's just, I don't understand what is the alternative for them to do. Yes, let us know what you're doing. That would be helpful, right? That would have eliminated a lot of drama. But I think we would have still had a lot of people who screamed scam and rug pull, because that's what they do. It appears that people who are blocked by Austin and Fan are not able to see some posts and spaces from Mmai. If those are investors, it's a bad look. Well, they're not posting. I mean, they don't have anything to do with the posting spaces for Mmai or any of that, right? Any longer. So it shouldn't have to do. I mean, if Austin and Fan are blocking people, they're doing it for a reason. But that shouldn't interfere with other people getting access to information from Mmai, right? I can go onto Mmai's, even if Austin blocked me or Fan blocked me, I could still go onto Mmai's page and get information. So I'm not sure what you mean by that. Maybe you can clarify. That's not, it's a little confusing. You got to admit, timing looked fishy for him to leave crypto and Mmai. I'm not sure how to answer that. I mean, I can totally see what you're saying. But I think some of us look at things with a more skeptical eye, and maybe you're looking from bottom up, so you're always going to assume the worst. And I kind of think that maybe that's where you're coming from. I don't know you, so I don't want to put that on you, but that's what it seems to me. I like to look for the first of all, I'd like to know the truth. Obviously, that would just help everybody's case. But I want to think more positive, especially if it's somebody I like and I respect, and Austin I like and respect. I would like to think that there's a more positive reason for that, and maybe it's bad timing. And trust me, the communication issue was definitely there from the beginning. Austin admitted it. I've spoken to him many times, and he understood that he wasn't the best at communicating. He could have probably handled that better. But I can see how you would see that might look fishy. But I think that's you looking for that. Me, I look at it that different direction. I'm not perfect, but I'd rather see the positive until I need a reason to see the negative. Austin fanboy, cause he helped you. He's the one that brought Faltron in that space. Yeah, I don't care. I really don't care about any of that. And you calling me an Austin fanboy does not hurt my feelings. Trust me, I don't have any feelings. So you're definitely not going to hurt him. Fanboy, yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Yeah, he's a friend. He's the one who brought Faltron. Yeah, I don't care. Faltron and what's the tiger lion lady person. That wasn't a good look. That was one of the cringiest things I think I've heard in a long time. I mean, that's just somebody coming out and saying, you're doing something illegal, you stole money, or you're misappropriating funds. Basically trying to say that he's just using that money for himself, and he's not really using that money for the project, which obviously is unfounded and untrue, as far as I know. So yeah, Austin fanboy. Yep, I'm an Austin fanboy. Sean, the Pepe team wants you to be a dev. Yeah, now I appreciate. Hey, Pepe team, I appreciate that. But no, I could never, even if I knew what the hell I was doing, dealing with the crypto community. Yeah, no, I'm going to pass on that one. What's going on, Waddy? Hopefully you're having a good day. Hopefully you're getting a kick out of this, because this, right? I mean, this to me actually is more fun than I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to come out here for 10 minutes and be like, yeah, I'm done. That's the end of it. But I do appreciate the back and forth, and you guys, it's no big deal to me, right? It means nothing to me. What's Sniff's favorite game? Scratch and Sniff. Selma, I would be willing to bet that is not the first time he's heard that. GS said, what's up? Let's see. Dr. Crypto got mad at Austin going to Rodney's chat and talking about him getting paid from Mmai more than he lost. And that's what space seemed to be about. Again, I did listen to some of a lot of that space, and it was terrible. It was a horrible look. I don't care what the reason was. I honestly don't. They obviously, those guys had a beef, and it's none of my business. It should have been none of my business, and they made it everybody's business. And maybe that's on Austin too, but I don't care. It's the way it was handled. It was the behavior that occurred, that I witnessed, that I just can't get with. Just can't get with it. Not at all. Those aren't adults, doing that. Those are children. He was way too upset, I think. Yeah. Daniel had to eat a. Yeah, that was surprising. Slightly entertaining, but it was surprising that came up and was mentioned often. Daniel had to eat a fat one, so Austin was upset first. I get it. Look, I truly do. I understand how fights happen. I understand that people are emotional, and some, especially men, right? All that machismo, and we got to be tough. And we can't let anybody get the last word, and we're going to say whatever we want to say because, I like to beat my chest and show how tough and cool I am. I don't, definitely could have been handled behind closed doors. There could have been a 3-way phone call or a 5-way for whoever needed to be involved in that. They could have done that without involving the community. On all sides, right? This is, nobody's blameless here. It's on all sides. It just, that one was rough. It was especially with, Augie on there, and it was just, and I'm sure that was Austin's bad. I'm not defending that, but on all sides, that definitely could have been handled behind closed doors and not drug the community through that. Yeah, I had a gaming channel, but I think it's going to go back to interviewing other YouTubers and project leaders. Okay, cool, man. I'll check it out. It's Summers. Go check him out. It's Summers. Go check. Everybody, go check out It's Summers channel. Super nice guy. Just a sweetheart of a dude. Thorchain bag went from 50% down to 40% up bullish. Okay, nice. I see a lot of cryptos, moving right now, which is really cool to see. And it does help the attitude, obviously, when you get some green candles, it does smooth the road out a little bit, from being down so long. Tim, did you see that dump on Pepe? I called it. Waddy's calling the dumps now. And Waddy, go check out Waddy's channel. This dude, he's reading the charts, coming quite the proper expert. I'd love to see it. Love to see the growth from the first day I met Waddy, a year and a half ago, maybe a little more, to today. Obviously, the dude's grown quite a bit in the space, in his understanding and intelligence. Love to see it. Waddy, how does Thorchain look? He's still bullish. But Waddy, watch out. These dudes they're looking for financial advice. Okay, don't give financial advice. Nice call though. And then here's a story. Let me tell you a quick story. So I read an article by an attorney, and he was talking about financial channels on social media, not necessarily crypto, but just financial channels. And basically he was saying, the disclaimer that we all like to use, hey, this isn't financial advice. And I think I have one here. Here we go. This is not financial advice. Do your research, take responsibility, invest only what you can afford to lose. That does not help you in court. He said that doesn't go anywhere in court. Nobody cares about that. Judge doesn't care about that. The law doesn't care about that. You can give all the disclaimers you want. There's only one way to avoid getting sued, and that is don't give financial advice. He said it's very, very clear, because you can't give disclaimers and then sort of give financial advice or give your expert opinions on stuff, because that turns out to be financial advice. Unfortunately, some people take it that way. So just remember this. The only way to get around that is just don't give financial advice. The disclaimers are not going to save you. My Ultra Journey, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in here, in for an interesting evening with the Crypto Smith and others. We're just up here agreeing to disagree, and which is totally fine. I respect everybody. It just, I just wanted to get some things out there, get some things off my chest. Not that anybody should care about my opinion. I mean, I'm nobody in the space. I'm not an expert on anything. I'm just a dude who likes to talk about crypto. Because I can't talk about it with anybody that I know in the real world because nobody understands it or cares about it. So I have to talk to you fine people. Hey, my ultra. Let's see. I never said you that. I'm making a point. Never said you said anything. Okay. Why did MetaMonkey drop Pablo and Larry as CMO in the beginning? So there's a story there that I can't tell. I don't know all of it. I don't know the whole Pablo. I don't know the whole Pablo issue. I thought he was on initially. Excuse me. Damn it. I don't know if it's a secret or not, but I'm not a big fan of Pablo. And I think in the very beginning, Larry talked to me and a couple others about coming on as a content creator. I was brand new. Like I was shocked. Like why would you even talk to me? I've got hardly anybody on my channel, just starting out. But anyway, so Larry calls me up and we're talking about it. He offered me to do some marketing for Mmai or MetaMonkey at the time. And my very first question, because I knew, the circles that some of these guys run around in, hey, is Pablo in on this? Because if he is, I don't really want to be associated with him. And I don't know Pablo at all. So this is not any disrespect to Pablo. I don't know the band at all. I just don't care for the way he conducts himself on his videos and live streams. It's just not my style. So, and he gets, I'm sure he gets a fair amount of that as well, right? I'm sure I'm not the only one, but his style doesn't mesh with me. And I just didn't want to be a part of that, especially to be my first, paid, sponsorship. So that happened all very quickly in the beginning. I know there's a story behind it with Larry. I heard the whole story, but I can't go into it because it's not my story. That was something between Larry and Max and and the people at Mmai or MetaMonkey at the time. Excuse me. Okay. So, but yes, I think it was supposed to be Larry and Pablo, and they dropped them both. There was a reason for that. I don't know the reason for Pablo, but I know the reason for Larry. But like I said, I can't get into that. That's old news. Then they brought in Austin. Austin brought in the rest of us. The rest is history. Whatever happened to Terrarium? Well, Terrarium, that fine project. It's dead. It died. The devs killed it. Was it really ever a real project? I don't know. I mean, there was money to be made there at the beginning, but a lot of people held right until the bitter end. And it turned into a toxic, negative environment where the devs were out daily, in the Twitter spheres and all on the interwebs, talking shit to everybody. Anybody who had anything negative to say about Terrarium, the devs were out there, throwing insults back and forth, being completely unprofessional. They didn't deliver anything. And then they tried to come up with a new token / money grab, I would assume. I'm not behind the scenes, right? It's just what it looked like. They were going to launch another token before they even finished their initial use case. And obviously that didn't go for very well. And then it just kind of dragged through the mud a bit and people got pissed. And there was a war, going on between Mmai and Terrarium because Austin was also out there talking shit about Terrarium and people didn't like that. And so there was a lot of back and forth, right? That's the community space. Unfortunately, that's where we live, which, makes me depressed, which is what, the reason I'm, slowly backing away from community projects. Yes, they apparently they dropped Pablo. Like I said, I don't. I feel like I'm losing my voice now. That's bullish. If you're in my TG responses carefully, please point out in the TG when you have time where I blew anything out of proportion. respectfully. It's, you know what it is, Brucey. It's when it's just making an exaggerated point out of something when you don't really know. And I don't know if you accused Augie or the dev team of taking money for nefarious reasons. But I did see people say that. Don't know if it was you. I'm not saying it was. But just like the comment you made about, oh, then you can't say anything if the devs go out and steal your money and buy Lambos and houses, right? Which is clearly not what I was saying. I think you're taking it to a point beyond where it was meant, and maybe you're just trying to make a point, right? I'm sure I do the same thing. I do this, I'm sure in an argument I'm going to do the same thing to try to prove a point, to make a bigger point out of what I have to say, and maybe that's what you're doing. But it's just, in normal conversation, I just think it's a little bit dishonest, intellectually dishonest to try to do that. And you know what I'm saying, right? I don't think the devs owe us anything. We invest. They say they're going to do this, right? They're either going to do it or they're not. I don't think along the way they owe us all of these different things, and we can sit here and make demands on them. That's not the agreement that's made when we do this. That was all I'm trying to say. Augustin and Andrew are not crypto people, so they brought Austin to help with that. Yes, they did. The entire reason they brought Austin in, trust me, there was some points in the very beginning where I was concerned because, Austin is very well versed in the crypto space, and you would think that they would turn to him when they need to address the community. Like one of the first things, and I know we talked about this when we were in a group setting, it was us, Austin, and some of the content creators for Mmai, is that, hey, like, you really need to hold their hands and make sure they understand what they can say and what they can't say, what they can do and what they can't do, and the things that trigger communities into meltdown, right? That's the first thing you've got to get across to them. And that didn't always go, according to, what I thought should have been done. So I'm sure I would have handled it differently, maybe not as good, maybe, but I have no idea. I'm not an expert on that, but we definitely made that known. Like, you really got to hold their hand and make sure that because in the community space, in the crypto space, if the devs say the wrong thing, use the wrong word, maybe they didn't mean something and they said it, or they, it's just, or they don't say something, it can really throw a lot of people off. And we understand that in the community space. We're like, hey, just please don't let them say the wrong thing, and screw this up. I think you did a decent job in the beginning, as well as you could. Right, it was new to everybody. Just about time, Baba Pablo. Are you not a Pablo fan as well? I'm sure there are plenty of people who aren't. There are plenty of people who are not Sean fans. I'm sure there are several who are currently in this discussion right now, and it's fine, right? I don't like everybody. Not everybody's going to like me. It's just we're adults, right? We understand that. I think that's just the world. I work with many people I don't like. But I have to pretend, you got to put on that game, play that game when you get to work, and get along. Just be an adult, get along, and go on about your day, and try not to bring too much drama to the show. Gee, soon after Austin got involved, yeah. Rune can still run. I don't even know what Rune is. I think I've heard it before, but I'm not sure what that project is. I'm happy with that one. Never sold, and now it's back up. Thanks. Excellent. See, and that's my philosophy as an investor in crypto. I'm a buy and hold kind of guy. And, sometimes it sucks, sometimes it's good. I buy it, I'm hold it. I'm not a trader. I don't try to time, the tops and bottoms, because I'm terrible at that. I lose every single time I try to do that. So I just buy and I hold. And then once I'm tired of holding, I'll get rid of it and move on to the next thing. And then, the next day that's, what I just sold is up. That's usually what happens. Faltron and that lady were wrong, but they were sent to that space. Those were not. Yeah, I know they were not Mmai investors. But it's just, to me, the amount of disrespect they paid to Augie wasn't warranted, right? Whatever they thought he did wrong, I think what they gave back to him just was not warranted. And in my opinion, maybe it wasn't. Maybe some people think it wasn't enough. And that's fine. I didn't like to see it. It was cringy as hell. And I thought it was very disrespectful. And I thought it was wrong. It's just factually incorrect. They're just saying you're stealing money and you're using it to enrich yourself. Was I think just not the facts. And maybe they were just doing a show. Maybe they were just putting on a show. Maybe that was just for the community, to show that, hey, we're holding these guys' feet to the fire. I don't know. I wasn't part of that. My opinion only, they wanted Austin at first, but he didn't answer them, so they hired the other two. That could have been. I remember we talked about this before with some of the guys, but the whole how it started and who went where, I don't really remember. In the beginning, I was just excited that they would even include me. Like, why the hell are these guys talking to me? I'm nobody. I lost so much respect for Dr. Rob and Daniel. Definitely understand your sentiment with them. Yeah, I hate to say it. I lost. Yeah, I lost all respect for them. And like I said, man, they're going to be just fine. They certainly don't need me around them. They're doing okay on their own. I wish them the best. Tim, dang. If they were tagged in the MMI post, people will not see it. So are you saying if Austin, if there's a tag, if somebody puts out a post and they tag and just Austin is one of the tags, then nobody's going to see it? Look, I'm not an expert, and I'm not questioning your motive here. I'm just saying maybe I don't understand how that process works, and if one person who is tagged in a post is blocking some other people, then other people won't see it. And maybe you're right. Maybe people that are on Austin's account or Austin's followers, maybe they won't see it. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really 100% on what what the question is. Weren't the NFT key holders supposed to be involved in the decision making on MetaMonkey or something? So yeah, you're partially correct there. The NFT key holders were going to have a vote inside the metaverse once that's going, which I'm sure at this point it's got to be at least another year away. And that's kind of on the back burner. I think the most important things right now are that blockchain and the wallet. Those are the two biggest things that are going to make the difference between success or failure in this space for MMAI. The NFT is going to be an add-on later. I mean, the metaverse, the pure world, is going to be, basically an add-on value to the project after blockchain, because they need the blockchain out in order to really make the metaverse work like they want to. Have that coin so they can build out the stores that they want to build out and that kind of income stream or income ecosystem there. They're going to need the blockchain in order to build that all out. So that's got to be done first. It's disappointing to me. I didn't like the way that went down. I didn't like let me say something negative about MMAI. I didn't care for the way the metaverse and NFTs were portrayed in the beginning, because for me, and I feel like I'm a reasonably intelligent person, I felt like they were further along than they really were. And I don't know if that they intentionally, we just wanted to get those NFTs sold, right? That gives them obviously a little bit more money to work with. Or maybe they really, truly didn't understand how long it was going to take to build out the blockchain and the wallet and all these other things first. So, but I wasn't happy about that at all. Once I think we all realized, like, oh shit, this metaverse isn't happening for quite a while. We're sitting on these NFTs. I mean, look I've got 5. So I've got, over $3,000 into these NFTs that are sitting doing nothing. Right. Hopefully I don't get, hacked and stolen between now and then. That's really going to be disappointing. But yes, let me say something negative about MMAI. I did not care for that. I don't know if that was dishonesty. I don't know if that was just they thought they were further along. But I felt like, hey, we could be close to getting these things working, I've got several billboards and display ads and a couple of cars. I'm ready to play. But we're a long way from that. That was very disappointing for me. But yeah, Eddie, you're right. I mean, that definitely you're definitely right on the right track. GS, after I heard about the project, I asked Austin. He said he had contacted him, but didn't know. Next day he was in. Yeah, it happened all very quickly. Long journey ended. Lesson learned. Stick with blue chips. You know what? There is nothing wrong with that. I have occasionally people who overhear me at work, because there are two guys that I see occasionally who own some Shiba. They don't really know a lot about crypto, but they got excited, which, Shiba was all the rage, and owns a shit ton of that. And so they ask me, hey, what would you do now? Like if you had $10,000 to burn, I'd be like, you just do Bitcoin, man. Just get yourself some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, some XRP, Solana, or what, pick like something in the top 20, right? And just stick with it. Just sit on it. Don't try to trade it. Don't try to time the market. Put it away and come back in a year or two and see where you're at. I would never tell anybody outside of crypto to get into the Pepe business, right? It's going to kill them, 100%. They're never going to make money. And I would be an asshole for telling them to get into the community space. And trust me, I'm an asshole, but not for that reason. I would never do that to somebody. I hear you, especially at those prices. Let's see. Tim was tempted to swap NXRA for more XRP or more XDC. Just hold. Yeah, I did consolidate. Just total transparency here. I literally have 3 cryptos. I have XRP. I have MMAI, and I've got a little bit of XLM, and then there was one other. I can't even. It's a tiny amount, so it's completely irrelevant. But XRP and MMAI, that's pretty much where I'm at, and I don't really care about anything else. Not that nothing else is going to make money, because a lot of them are going to move at the same point, which is why I consolidate all of mine. If Bitcoin moves, if the spot ETF gets approved at some point, and it will probably get approved by multiple different companies, BlackRocks and the Grayscales, they will. It's going to pump, right? I mean, that's just my opinion, of course, not financial advice, but it's going to pump, and everything's going to pump with it. So you don't have to be in 20 different tokens. Although there are a couple that like to move on their own, and XRP is starting to break away because there's so much XRP news every single day now. It's getting more and more and more. And you can see how it's kind of starting to pull away and act on its own. Jasmine's been doing well. Crow obviously has been doing well. There's several others that are starting to move on their own, but ultimately Bitcoin moves, the market moves. That's why I tell anybody who's got no experience, just buy some Bitcoin and just sit on it. A little more risky, possibly 100x in my opinion. Tim Shea, financial advice. Financial advice alert. It's crazy how crypto friends turn each other over shitty devs, and then months down the road, it's all good again. And yeah, you know what? And maybe that's the case. Maybe they'll patch things up, and they'll move on, and then turn on each other again. It's possible, and then that's human nature, I guess. Right? You can get really upset and angry, and get rid of everybody out of your life, and then a couple months later, you're like, you know what? I'm over it. It's whatever. Let's move on. And adults can do that too, right? You can get over it. You can change your mind. I reserve the right to change my mind anytime I see fit. But you are correct, Eddie. I do. That's a real thing. Imagine acting like that with your real friends and family. You look at. I'm going to say most people act like that with their real friends and family. You can get mad at your friends. You're probably not going to be mad for as long, but you could go a few days, not speak to them, and then you're like, go have a beer and hang out and be like, that was stupid. Punch each other in the face and get it over with. Sports, politics, religion, crypto can very divide. Yes. Yeah. Life. Yes. GS. Life can be very divisive because that's pretty much what we're all into. That's what we all watch every day. Anytime you turn on X or the news or YouTube, it's one of these things. Money, financial is a big thing. Obviously, right now with wars going on, it's politics and religion and financial. Why? Who's benefiting from these wars? The banks are. The central banks are benefiting. The military-industrial complex, which means all of the politicians out there, they're all benefiting from this. So they have no reason to stop this. No reason to slow it down. Every reason to get ourselves into more wars. Here you go. Here's It's Summer's channel, Waddy the Crypto Hunter channel. Thank you, Tim Shea. Appreciate that. I don't know what you're laughing about because I'm far behind on the chat. I'm trying to catch up. Appreciate you, Sean, real friend. Hey, I appreciate you too, Waddy. Waddy's one of those guys, you know what I mean? He'll pick up the phone. He'll give me a call. And I appreciate that. He'll tell me like it is. Tell me if I'm being a little bitch or not. I appreciate that. I need that. I need somebody to kick me in the balls every once in a while. Not cup the balls. Kick me in the balls. Don't get any ideas, Waddy. Supports too, Waddy. Yeah, Tim Shea supports everybody. This man's a saint. Waddy's my financial advisor. All right, we're moving on from that one. I was doing that to him the other night on his live stream. I'm like, okay, so what you're saying is you're definitely saying buy Bitcoin right now. Thanks for the financial advice. I know, Tim, you always here. Appreciate you. Yep. I never accused him of taking money in again. Okay, and right. I wasn't sure because I know there's some dude that did. Make it a point. Never said you said anything one more time, and never accused taking money and doing anything nefarious. Okay, all right, fair enough, Brucey. Fair enough. I don't want to fight. I know somebody did, and it was just like, and this was I'm not saying it was you, but somebody in the Telegram group or a couple of people said, were accused fan of doing something that clearly wasn't true. Clearly, they had no evidence of, and a couple other people just piled on because that's what people do. Without getting any information first, and that's kind of what we do to each other, and it's just stupid. Is it going to stop? No, it's not going to stop. I'm not going to make it stop. Me whining about it's not going to make it stop. Also, another point brought up in this chat: Austin did not bring Faltron into the space. Crazy how people make allegations. Yeah, and I thought Dr. Crypto brought Faltron into the space. I think Dr. Crypto said he brought Faltron, but I also heard that Austin brought Faltron into Rodney's space or something like that. Like I said, this is all, I don't really care. It doesn't really make anything different. It doesn't change anything. Doesn't make it better. But yeah, it'd be nice if we had the facts and people were able to, parse out, what's real and what's not real. But we're humans, we're stupid, and emotional, and we're gonna do stupid shit all the time, apparently. Confirmation bias, Twiz. There's my man, Twiz. Love you, Twiz. Confirmation bias. I appreciate that. I'm sure that's probably a word I was trying to think of. No, they will. We'll see it. You just can't see the blocked person. Yeah, and I'm not. Yeah, I'm not. The whole Twitter, with somebody blocked, how some people can't see it. I'm not understanding that part. But I'm not an expert on Twitter at all. As you can see, all I do is repost stuff. I don't really post my own content, right? I just steal other people's content and repost it like I did. That's not how Twitter works. Nobody's been blocked by the Mmai account. Correct. Yeah, it is just Austin blocked some people, and I'm sure Fan blocked some people as well. Nobody's been blocked by the Mmai. Yeah. Yeah. And anybody, look at it. If you guys are out there, if anybody's listening, you're totally free to go and check out all of this information yourself. Go to I don't know if you want to go to Telegram. I think it's getting better, right? It's been very negative this last week, but I think it's starting to turn around. But what is the other? I'm sorry, I got a Discord. Yeah, I couldn't even think of the name Discord. Go to Discord, even though there's not a lot going on in Discord, because after last week's mayhem, a lot of people pretty much went silent, and I don't blame them because nobody really wants to be involved in that. But hopefully, we're going to turn things around here a little bit. True Twiz. Key holders only supposed to be involved in metaverse. Yes. Yep. That's what I said. Thanks, Twiz. As far as the game aspect of it is concerned, yes. Yeah, key holders were going to be given special rights, and that is the ability to vote inside the metaverse on new things coming in. At least that's what what they're stating. Hopefully, that's still a thing. And I think there was going to be some sort of leadership, maybe roles there, and the mayor of the metaverse, that we were going to vote on. I'm not sure how that's all going to go down, but anyway, that's a long way down the road. That's cool. I didn't remember that. Yeah, yeah. It's I'm holding 5 keys and 5 properties, man. I want to go have some fun, but we're we're like I said, we're a long way away. Any updates on the game? I think the game works. If you go into the metaverse, which you can, it currently works, and you can go in the casino, and inside the casino, you can play the game. You can launch yourself into the game. I've done it many times. I haven't done it in the last few weeks, but I haven't checked to see if it's still up and running. That's probably something I need to do. Also, did somebody from Shinobi help build the monkey contract? That I have no idea of. I don't know. Unfortunately, no, I never had a direct line to Augie until the past few days, and we've only talked about TG and Discord, so Telegram and Discord. Yes, Shinobi used a third party to write contracts, and I hired them to write theirs. So it was a connected third party. So not Shinobi did not, but that third party who writes contracts did. Thanks, Twiz. I appreciate that. I don't think I even remember that. Shinja, Shinobi, yeah, same thing. Both garbage. Total shit show. I lost a decent amount on that train wreck. But I was learning lessons. So it was a very expensive lesson. I learned with Mmai. I probably dumped 12 grand on that pile of shit. Shinobi was probably another couple thousand. It's been a very expensive education for me in the crypto space. Eddie T was a Shinja warrior. All right. There were a lot of Shinja warriors out there. I can't see some MMI spaces and posts. I have an iPhone. Both blocked me from that liquidity space, so that's what I think. Do you think, maybe Twiz can check into that to see what's going on with you. Crypto investor, do you have the same name in X that you do here? Maybe get with Twiz on that and see if he can't unravel that mystery. There's no reason you should be blocked from seeing the AMAs and the post for MMAI. I'm gonna buy that steel toe boot for the kick. Thanks, brother. Looking out for me. I appreciate that. You get one, make it good, right? That's what I say. Dr. Crypto said Austin brought him to the space and Daniel space. Okay. I hear I had absolutely nothing to do with that. Went down to fan and Austin. I never said anything regarding it. Okay, cool. I'm glad you didn't, because that was ugly. That was just straight up ugly. Volter 666. That's a rough one. Been gone for a while, but an MMA holder. What happened? Oh, geez. We don't have time. We don't have time for that in this space. You got to go back and listen to the AMAs. It's wild. It got ugly and crazy. Cliff notes real quick. Some liquidity was pulled by Augie. I think some in the community thought Austin might have known about it and didn't say anything. Turns out I don't think that was true. Austin's out. Fan got attacked in Telegram, and so she's out. And, everything kind of went to shit. But MMAI is still here, and they're still building, and there's nothing wrong with the project. But unfortunately, just like with every community project, there's something very, very wrong with the people in the community. And we're here just chatting about it, because I needed to get it off my chest, and I couldn't do it last week because I was sick. And here I am, just trying to clean things up, clear things up, and move on. So Volter 666, yeah, you're gonna have to go back and listen to those crazy spaces. I think they're recorded. They're probably still out there in the interwebs for you. Did Augustin ask community to leave that negativity behind and move forward? Yeah, well, I think he addressed. I know Dr. Crypto said something in the very beginning of the AMA today about, hey, that was just personal. It had nothing to do with the project or MI. And I think Augustin just kind of seconded that, which clearly that was the case. But the community got drug into that, and that was the bad look. And I really did not appreciate that. Looks like we lost Austin and Dr. Crypto, but Fan is still here. No, Fan is not still here. Um, you lost Austin and Fan. Dr. Crypto is still, seem to be running the social media aspect of things, but Fan has sadly still part of the project, but just not a visible and vocal part of the project. So everything right now is on Twiz. So Twiz has a lot of heavy lifting to do, and I expect nothing but the best from Twiz. And I'm sure he will come through just like he knows he can. Yes, RJ said he can't see things either, huh? Well, maybe that's something that needs to be investigated in through the X account and find out why. I mean, I know Austin, him blocking certain people shouldn't affect anybody that way. If you can see some things and not others, there's something goofy going on with X. Yeah. And maybe it's a shadow banning thing. And like, I don't even know what that really means. But I know there are some things that sometimes I can't see certain things and sometimes I can. So maybe it's maybe it is the next thing. I don't know. Only on MMAI X Twiz. So yeah, maybe like I said, maybe we can we can investigate that and see what's going on. I don't know what you're asking. Dr. Rob can make things up to make himself look better and justify his actions. Well, I mean, I don't want to accuse him of that. I don't know if that's what he did. I just, like I said, I just don't like the way things were handled. I don't like the behavior that was displayed. It's not something I can get behind at all. And I just got to move on from that. But, I mean, yeah, sure. Your statement is true. People can do that. And do that, I'm sure. I mean, that's again, part of human nature. Good night, Sean and everyone. Waddy, the crypto hunter, I appreciate you, brother. Good night. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon. So Fan isn't a fan, huh? No. So Fan, maybe still a fan of the project, but probably not a fan of the community any longer because bad things happened. Good night, Waddy. Fan and Austin have been gone since June. Well, Fan hasn't, but Austin has. Fan still was really helping out in the social media part of it. When the questions needed to be asked, she was always there when I had a question or concern. I think that when things started going downhill was basically when there just wasn't any updates to be had, and so things went silent. And some people, I think, maybe mistook that it was just dead, right? There's just nothing going on, but there wasn't really anything to talk about because we're waiting on things, right? We're waiting on an audit or the ISO certification. We're waiting on the blockchain to be built, and these things still take time. It's taking more time than I'm sure that any of us want it to take. It would have been nice if this was done 6 months ago. Would have been great, but it's not. We just have to deal with the realities of what's happening right now. Don't put that voodoo on me, Sean. Sorry, Twiz. I mean, you signed up for it. I didn't sign up for it, but you did. You were in it, at least in the TG part. And I see you still sneaking around over there on Discord. So if anybody has questions, definitely go straight to Twiz. You said doo-doo. Did I say doo-doo? Yeah. My Ultra Journey. I thought that he was your boy. That's a huge accusation. No. Look, I'm sure that all three of them, Dr. Rob and Austin and Daniel, probably lost a few people in their circle that day. So, and I can't blame anybody. Everybody gets to do what they want to do. We're all, most of us are adults here. But yeah, that's, it's just sad. It's a sad thing, but I mean, these things happen, and we got to pick up and move on from here. And maybe things will get better and people will kiss and make up at sometimes. Maybe there'll be some ball cupping. I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? Not by me, not by your boy, Sean. I'm not going to be doing that. Okay. I can defend a project. I can also say negative things about the project, right? I can do that, right? I'm not just here to blow smoke up your ass and to tell you everything's going to be okay, because I don't know. At the end of the day, this could be a massive failure. Blockchain could never come out. They could have continual problems. Maybe Augie and Austin, maybe they have have a love affair and they steal all the money and they move away to Bora Bora. I don't, who knows what the hell's going to happen. I'm hoping for the best. If the worst happens, it is what it is. Won't be the last time I get rug pulled. As an ETH wrap project, do you think as ETH rises with ETF we get? I don't know if it goes above pre-launch price. I mean, that's going to take some movement because we're pretty far down here. Unfortunately, and that's right. That's only a what I would call like a mechanical gain, right? Because Ethereum goes up, yes, the price of Mmai goes up, but that's a mechanical effect, and we don't need hype, right? Because this project has not had a hype all-time high yet. From the very beginning, we went up maybe 2x, and then you can see the rest. Just in a bear market, that's most of it. Disappointing timelines, sure, that's some of it. People got out. It is what it is. So we need utility, right? Utility is there. The utility exists. We need the use case to come out and to get out there, and then we need real marketing, right? We need people from outside of our tiny little space to start getting into this, to download that wallet, to start using it, transaction fees, the whole 9 yards. We need it to go via use case, not via hype, because hype always brings it straight back down. But yeah, if a spot ETH ETF, yeah, the market I think is going to go nuts for a short amount of time. But unless there's something behind that to sustain that, it's we're going to have those dips again. So, if you're watching, obviously a Bitcoin spot ETF announcement, I think the market's going to go nuts for a couple of days, maybe a week. But if there's nothing right behind that, then it'll calm down, and it'll people start to take profits. As we know they do. It just happens every time there's a run. There's going to be a pullback. Just keep that in mind. If you miss that initial run, then wait for the pullback. Not financial advice. Okay, not financial advice. You haven't signed anything. It's more of an implied contract, I think, Twiz. You know it's there. I know it's there. I hope Dr. Rob doesn't listen to the space and dragging me into the gutter responding to you guys. You know what? I don't think he will. I don't think there's anything here that he can get on. I mean, these are personal opinions. I haven't claimed he's done anything to me, right? What he did in Daniel and in Austin, that was between them. Wasn't any of our business, but they decided to make it our business, and that's I can have an opinion on that. Look at it, and if he wants to launch a crypto or a crypto Smith tirade on X, go for it. I don't really give a shit. He's not going to hurt my feelings. It's just going to make him look even worse than he looked after that last one. So, but like I said, he can listen to the space all he wants. There's nothing really here he can take from it and be that upset about. And if he is, I really don't care. Yes, it's an accusation. I could be wrong, but truly can't believe how trashy and childlike his response space was. I lost respect, find it hard to trust anything from him anymore. I'm with you. My ultra journey, I'm with you. It's a rough one, man. It is a rough one. People that you liked before and that you respected before, they can do things that make you question that, and it's unfortunate, but that is the world we live in, and that's what we have to deal with. And hopefully, and this is what I said, and this is what I say to myself, is that the project can succeed despite, in spite of all of this, these things going on. At the time it was happening, and then with the whole fan issue, I'm thinking, are these people actively trying to kill this project? Because that's what it seemed like to me. Like they're just looking for any little tiny negative thing to blow up and to accuse and to just keep feeding that negativity to kill the project. I mean, why would you do that? I understand you can have questions and you can try to hold people accountable, but just that massive ball of negativity really sucked the life out of it for me. I mean, it really, really took the enjoyment, the fun out of this project for me. And I was questioning whether I was going to sell everything and just move on, because I don't have time. I have a full-time job. I have a family. I got shit to do. I don't have time for the negativity. I don't have the patience for that negativity. And me, I'm going to be that negative. I'm going to pick up my ball and I'm going to go home. I'm done. I don't need to sit around and stir the pot and try to get everybody up in this, fever pitch and try to, lynch everybody. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. But Ultra Trinity, I feel you, brother. I do. How much ETH was taken? Here, Twiz answers that. 81 ETH this last time. So I believe it's somewhere around 150,000. Dr. Crypto is lethal. He's not going to kiss and make up. He had issues with Big Hen, Ray, AZ, and now Austin. I don't know who those other people are. He doesn't care. Yeah, clearly. Clearly, he doesn't care. And I'm not saying he should, right? I mean, it showed me who he was, and I don't hang with people like that. So it's fine. I mean, that's he does his thing. Everybody else do their thing, and they'll move on. He'll be just fine. Sorry, Dr. Rob, if you're listening, at least he could have apologized and taken down the trash. Yeah. Yeah, like I think crypto investor said, he's not gonna apologize. I'm sure he doesn't think he did anything wrong, and that's if that's just who he is, maybe that's his personality, maybe that's how he grew up, his upbringing. Who I don't know. I don't know him personally. I just know I didn't care for the actions. Twist, you don't know shit. Now I'm defending Dr. Crypto and say you guys are accepting Austin and hating Dr. Crypto as white and black thing. Whoa, let's not go white or black thing. Okay, so crypto investor. So just so we're clear, the reasons to me are completely irrelevant. I don't care what Austin said. I don't care what Daniel said. I don't care what Dr. Crypto said. It's the way that was handled. It was the public shit show that he drug the MMAI community into. That is what I have a problem with. That the fact that he didn't like what Austin said, fine. Pick up the phone, call Austin, have a chat, yell at each other, meet somewhere halfway between your house and his house and, kick each other's ass. Do whatever. But to bring the community into that absolute dumpster fire of a space that they had was a bad look for MMAI. Whether he meant to do it or not, whether he meant to drag the community into it or not, that it was not the right thing to do. It was wrong, 100% wrong. Okay, and all of them can take blame, including Austin. They can all take blame. Should have been handled behind closed doors. He should have never had that space. Because once you do that, everybody knows this is what happens with people, right? Humans, right? We're idiots. We're morons, right? We're going to go with the least of us, right? Let me look who's president right now, right? We elect the dumbest people that we have in the community and make them, look as if they're leading us. But once you get that negativity rolling, people are just going to pile on, right? Maybe they had a negative thought sometime 6 months ago and they just brought it up and they're like, oh yeah, you got to get him. You got to go after him. You can't let him talk shit and it just piles everything up into an unnecessary space. It was dumb. Like stupid. It was just stupid. Don't respect it. So again, I understand that, he said, she said, they didn't like it. Somebody didn't, and it just never should have got there. They should have handled it behind closed doors. Hothead, and that doesn't mean he's wrong. He's wrong for what he did. He's wrong for the way he handled it, in my opinion, right? I'm speaking for myself only. In my opinion, he did not handle it the way it should have been handled. He drug the MMAI community into it. It's definitely not a race thing. Some people came after Austin. Others came after. No, I know. I was joking about the black and white thing or white and black thing. That was a joke. All right. Everything today out there, in social media is about, something about race, right? It has to be about race so we can get people riled up. That's your opinion, though. Austin dragged the MMI community into Roddy's chat discussing it. No? Yeah. I mean, you can certainly look at it that way. I wasn't in that space. I didn't listen to that space. I really don't listen to Rodney. Not that, not that there's anything wrong with that. I just, he's not, him and we don't mesh like that. So I don't I don't really watch his space, so I didn't see or hear any of that. But yes, you can certainly feel that that Austin dragged community right along with Dr. Crypto and Daniel. Trash both of them and not kiss one ass. Trash, yeah. The entire situation was trash. That's my issue. How to race? It was a joke, Ultra Journey. It was a joke. Race gets brought into everything, right? Because that's what we have to do. We have to bring race into it so that's, we can have offended people and we can gather people on our side, or spin a narrative the way the media likes to do things. Dr. Crypto didn't have any issues with Austin, except that one comment. Well, no, according to the space that Dr. Crypto had, he unloaded a litany of issues that he had with Austin about getting paid or not getting paid, about who said what, about, other projects, Metapolitans, which I unfortunately, was creating content on that one as well. Yeah, there seemed to be many things in it. To me, it was like he was holding back the whole time, and it was just all built up, and he wanted to let it all fly in one space. Rodney brought up Austin's tweet on his live. Austin said nothing about Rob on his stream. And like I said, I wasn't there. I can't get really comment about that. So you dropped? No, I didn't drop Austin. I mean, Austin's not around, so there's really nothing to drop. I still consider Austin a friend. I didn't hear from him. I didn't hear the behavior that I heard from others. I didn't hear really from Austin to that level. I mean, sure, look, we can have favorites, right? I'm not going to deny that. I have favorite people. I know people in my real life that they could probably wreck a bus full of nuns, and I'm going to forgive them. And I'm going to be like, hey, we're still boys. So yeah, no, Austin's not blameless. I mean, I'm not saying that. Right? Everybody could have handled this better. But the one main, glaring issue is that space that was held. That to me just wasn't right. Right? He was telling everybody about Austin's shady character. Yeah, but I mean, that was his opinion. And there are two sides to the stories, right? I understand that. He has a right to his opinion. But airing out dirty laundry, in public, to me, is just not a manly or adult thing to do on everybody's side. Still deal with Austin, but I'm not trashing Dr. Crypto because he got pissed. I don't need to trash Dr. Crypto. I'm just saying I don't have to deal with him, right? I don't respect what he did. Therefore, I don't respect him. And, we can move on. I'm sure he's not going to care one bit about what I have to say about him. I'm nobody. He's not going to care. He's not missing anything by not having me on his side or, in his corner. So I'm not shitting on him. I'm just saying what he did was wrong. It was trash. And I just can't hang with people like that. So he's going to be fine. Dr. Crypto is, trust me, the dude's going to be just fine. He doesn't give a shit about what Sean the Crypto Smith says. So my Ultra Journey, you don't even know what I'm talking about. Austin wrote in Rodney's chat about Dr. Rob. I don't know. I wasn't there. Didn't see it. Doesn't mean that there's something wasn't said that was wrong or whatever. But this is where we're at, right? How are we going to get beyond this, right? I've said my piece. That's all I need to do. I don't want to go through it again. I want to see, the project turn around. The community, unfortunately, is the community. It's just full of people who are very emotional about their money and emotional about who said what and who did what, and I just don't care about that. I would love to support the community, but they make it, people in general, humans, make it very difficult to do that. So, but anyway, this is my space. I may do another one. I mean, I definitely do a video on the wallet, but I don't know if it's worth it to me, if I'm getting anything out of, talking about it or giving people a space to vent or whatever. That's kind of what my plan was. But, you get attacked. No good deed goes unpunished. Let's just Let's just say that. Um, I don't really need the drama in my life. I don't need it. I'm too old for that garbage. You're right. Just need to move on. Talk about someone if they're not here to defend themselves. Talked about him getting paid more of marketing. He claimed he lost, but Austin worked for free. Very inappropriate. Yeah. Again, I don't know who said what. I don't know what's true, what's not true. I just know that the way it's handled, I just didn't care for. Okay. That's my prerogative. It's my opinion. Don't care if anybody thinks it's right or not. I honestly don't give a shit. That's just how I feel, and we're going to move on from here, and everybody's going to be just fine. And the project will succeed or will fail with or without us. Here's another thought, and maybe let me know what you guys think about this specifically. To us in the community, this is a community crypto project. I don't think that for MMAI or NS Labs or the devs, they don't feel the same way we do, right? Because they're not in it like we're in it. They're in it at a completely different level. They don't, well, I'm not going to put words in their mouth. I don't think that they see this as a community crypto project, but we do. They're a real business, right? There's never been a community project in crypto that has a real business behind it where you can actually drive over, park, walk into an office and talk to a dev, right? We've never had this before. This is a first, right? And so why we're trying to kill it, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? I want to hang on to this as long as I can. I've always said, and it is just like Austin said, and I said this long ago, maybe not in public, I said this to myself. If this project can't make it in the community crypto space, none of them have any chance. Zero, right? None of them have made it before. I'm hoping this is the one, right? I put my money on this horse, and hopefully at the end of the day, there's some benefit to it. If not, I'm probably out of crypto. Out of the crypto space anyway, for good, because I just don't. There's just no reason for it. I'm not. There needs to be a benefit to me. I need to be able to benefit from this some way, emotionally, right? Financially, spiritually. But there's just no benefit here. So that's why I'll be putting some of my time into some sim racing and doing some content that way, and maybe some product reviews in that space, because it's fun. It's just me having fun, not trying to make money. I'm not trying to build a massive community. Just putting it out there to connect with people and to have fun. It's also a good way for me to connect with my two sons who also into that sim racing, and support them. So that's what I would get out of that. But I'm still wrestling with myself about what do I get out of this. Let's see. So much drama. Yeah, it is. And I just, now that the space is done or just about done, that's pretty much all we're going to say about it. We're not going to rehash it again. Twist, so that's nothing to you, but you can't cancel how he feels. I'm not canceling anything. I don't know what was said, just asking questions. Definitely time to move on. Grateful your space letting this event. Respect. You have a wise perspective on all. I appreciate that. I'm old. I don't know if I'm wise, but I'm old. So I've had a lot of different experiences like this where I get to reflect and think, what did I do wrong? I'm definitely not perfect. I make mistakes all the time. I'll say the wrong thing or not say the right thing, or I do that all the time. Just ask my wife. But I appreciated my ultra journey. Appreciate your perspective as well. We're all gonna, based on who we are, where we grew up, who our parents were, our political persuasion, we're all gonna have different takes on this, and we're all gonna, unfortunately, that's human nature as well, is to choose sides. And I don't really want to choose sides. I just, just the event itself I didn't like. That's where we're at. I need people who keep it real, good or bad. I'll always support Dr. Crypto because I made a lot of money listening to his space. Okay, fantastic. You and that is your prerogative, right? That's why we're here. Everybody gets to do what they want to do. We all, well, most of us, I'm sure, have free will. And hopefully you continue to make money, and he continues to do you well like that. I don't think MMI will be in the community token space for much longer. The focus seems to be slowly shifting business and use case, not chart movement and playing games in chat. Yes, 100%, right? Which is why I said, I would have never gone the community token space. I would have just had some angel investors or VCs and gone that direction if I was going to go into crypto. But I don't think had they done any research on the crypto community, out there and the social media. I think maybe Augie and Andrew would have made a different choice. Unfortunately for us, that's just, I'm bagging on us as people, in the community. We don't always act the best. We don't always say the right things or say the proper things. We can be quite toxic and divisive, and it sucks. I still see all the white people here defending. I don't know what. I mean, I don't even know how to respond to that. That's probably one of the dumbest things I've seen yet today. So that's just. I mean, hopefully you're joking, or you're just trolling. But that's if you're being honest, I think that's fucking stupid. I will listen to him in Daniel's space because you're right. They help make us money, but I don't have respect for. Yeah, I can't listen. I won't be listening. It doesn't really matter. I don't, like I said, I don't make any difference in their space. They're going to do what they're going to do, and I wish them the best, and they're going to be just fine. Certainly without me, which is the way it should be, right? I don't mean anything to anybody in this space. Crypto investor, you're trolling. Bring in race. Alternate, that's hypocritical if you don't deal. Space, crypto instigator. Yes. Why people messaging me to come in here? You guys here trash me. I wouldn't expect anything else. Yeah. Well, there you go, Dr. Rob. There you go, Dr. Rob. Trashing the actions that you displayed. That's what's being trashed here, sir. Because, like you said, they help me make money. They have insight on crypto. I'm making money. That's it. I don't have to like them personally or meet up. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, we're able, we're adults. Well, most of us, and we can do whatever the heck we want to do. Yeah. That's why, we have free will. I'll respond accordingly because I really don't care if anyone's opinion me. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Rob, to be fair, that's what we said, right? I think we've all agreed that you're not going to care. You're certainly not going to care about what I have to say about you. I'm nobody in the space. I don't mean anything to you. And you and Daniel are going to be just fine. Sorry, Dr. Robert, I've already told you most on TG. You don't know the many things behind my actions. I don't sit back and take it. Yeah, honestly, I don't care, Dr. Robert. I don't. I don't. We already went through this. It doesn't matter the reasons why. It doesn't matter who said what to who. The shit that went on should have been handled, in private. You drug MMAI into it, and made just the whole space look horrible. And that's the thing that I'm talking about, the behavior that happened that I can't get behind, right? And I've already gone, we already talked about this. So it should have been handled differently, but it wasn't, and it just made us all look like fucking idiots. But you're gonna do you, right? That's your prerogative. You get to do whatever it is you want to do. You're a big guy in the space. You command the audience, and you can say whatever you want to say. But like I said, I'm sure you don't care. I'm sure you're not going to apologize. I'm sure you could care less about what I have to say or about what my opinion is, and that's totally acceptable. I give as much as I get. I left TG and didn't read anything on there. My DM blown up. Guess I need to eat a fat one. Thought we were moving on. Austin behavior was good. I don't know what that means. Again, we're not gonna rehash again. The actions displayed. is what we're talking about. Wasn't good for anybody. Has been dragged into everything. I've been pissed in my looking like a rug since June. Made it clear to the okay. Like, I mean, we're not even talking about that, Dr. Rob. That's not really the reason for this. I got to vent. It's my space. I get to vent about what I feel, my opinions, what I saw, and that's what I did here. So you feel free to go back and listen to everything that was said. I don't really care. I'm sure you don't care, right? We can have this back and forth. That nobody cares. Doesn't mean anything, right? MMAI can succeed with or without us, and I expect that they will. And just like Twiz said, the community space probably won't exist much longer because in order for MMAI to really be successful, they've got to get outside of the crypto space, right? You have to that the market is so much bigger outside the crypto space than inside. That if they really want that level of success, they're going to have to move on from us, which I would expect them to do. So you think your actions, your response space was okay? You are. I thought you were better. Not apologize for my money going down because people thought that we were rugging when MMI videos disappeared. MMI videos didn't disappear. So I went back through Telegram or through X and I saw everything that I saw before was there with Austin and everybody else. So I'm that one. It's okay to say live. We're not talking about who said what. We're talking about the actions of everybody was disrespectful to the community. But anyway, I'm not going to go back through it. I'm not going to go back through it. That's where it started. I know. Yeah. And nobody is blameless here. Trust me. Nobody's blameless here. Should have been handled completely differently and wasn't. MRI videos have not disappeared, right? As I've also seen, they have not disappeared. I've dealt with so many things with Austin, you guys. It doesn't, that's irrelevant. Again, I don't know how many times I'm going to repeat it. It doesn't, none of that shit matters. Austin definitely responded emotionally. Should I have said that? Probably knows, but y'all's response was way too far. Right. And I'm with Ultra Journey here. That's kind of how I felt. That's kind of what I've said here on the space. Roni, Ravi on Terrarium, you guys don't know shit. It doesn't it doesn't matter, Dr. Rob. You're going to be just fine. Trust me. You got your shit together. You're doing your thing. Like I said, I'm sure you could care less about my opinion, right? And you shouldn't, right? Because I'm nobody. Person who went through the first blow runs is always the victim. That's, again, Daniel, doesn't matter. Makes no difference to me. My space was very limited, and I could have been a lot worse. Yeah, well, not from where I sat. Couldn't have been worse for me. Like, that was probably one of the worst things I've heard in a very long time. Doesn't matter what you know, matters what you do with what you know. Airing it all out was wrong. Yeah, I agree, 100%. Here we go again with the drama. Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, I went through it. I'm done. I've said my piece. I've got my channel, so I get to say whatever the hell I want and throw my opinion out there, and everybody can do whatever it is they want with it. And, like I said, I'll be pulling back from the community. I'll still do some videos on MMI when actual use case, starts to drop and things start to hit. I'll do that just because for me, not because I'm getting paid. I don't really care about that. Because I care about the project. So that's why I'll be doing it. And hopefully things are going to go great. I mean, I'm expecting good things from the wallet drop. Probably, I can't imagine it's going to be before Christmas. I think maybe first, what Augie said, maybe, in the first portion of 2024 with the blockchain, which is going to be necessary for the wallet to really function the way they want it to. So that's what we're looking forward to. That's the next thing. And then we're going to have to look at how are they handling marketing, right? Where's that marketing dollar going? Are they getting people outside of the crypto space interested? What kind of networking are they doing? Right. Then we get to make opinions, on how that's going. And I'm sure we all will. But I think that's about it for me, guys. I said my piece. I'm not going to rehash it again. If I have another live stream, if I do one on Saturday, which I'm not 100%, I will. because I just don't know that I care anymore about about the drama. And maybe if maybe I'll just put together some XRP content, and we could talk about that, and maybe lighten the mood a little bit. But that's it. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it, and hopefully you guys have a great night, and try not to lose more money in crypto. The market's looking good. All right, I'm sure a lot of people are up on a lot of things, but you guys stay safe out there, and hopefully we'll see you again. All right, take care, guys.